So I'm going to be honest, folks. One of the major reasons that I kept drinking as long as I did, one of the major reasons why I kept going back to the bottle, I kept drinking, couldn't stop, was because that I was using alcohol to numb the pain in my life. I think we all can agree that as a human on this planet, in this universe, that there will be pain. There will be suffering. Don't know why this is. You know, we can have long philosophical discussions about why there's pain in this world. But there is pain. You will go through it from time to time. And for a lot of us who struggle with alcohol or struggle with addiction, we use our addictions to numb the pain because we think it helps us get through these painful periods in our life. Now, in this video, I want to prove that this is not true. Okay, this video is about debunking that myth. I personally believe, and I hope to prove it in this video, that all of us are born with all the skills and the coping mechanisms we need to get through any situation in life sober. I'm gonna say that again. All of us, I believe, are born with all the skills and coping mechanisms we need to get through any situation that life can throw at us, no matter how painful. And before you like, Tim, I know you think you Mr. Sobriety over here and you making these videos, but you don't know what goes on in my life. You don't know what pain I'm going through. You might be wrong on this one. Before you go down that road, before you click out this video, allow me to prove my hypothesis, okay? Allow me to prove my theory. And it's actually pretty simple. Most of us did not start drinking, hopefully, until our late teens, early 20s. Now, the pain and the suffering in this life starts from like day one. You was crying from the moment you came out your mother's womb because they was snipping all kinds of stuff up off you and beating you on the back. Anyway, as a baby, that probably was the ultimate pain and suffering right there. And for all those years that you did not drink, there was pain, there was suffering, there was hardship. But guess what? You got through all of it. Whether you had a good childhood, bad childhood, mediocre childhood, we got through all of that pain and suffering we went through as a child sober. I had a good childhood, but I went through a lot of stuff when I was a kid. It could be broken bones, it could be getting picked on at school, getting beat up, just lots of stuff, surgeries, just lots of stuff as a kid I went through. But I got through all of it, and the ideal of taking a drink never popped in my head. I just had to deal with it. Now, hopefully, and fortunately for me, I had parental love, I had my sisters, I had a support system, so that helped me get through it. But the ideal or the concept of needing some type of outside substance, a drink or a drug or something like that, never occurred to me. I just had to put my big little boy pants on and get through it. It was what it was. Now, when I got older and I discovered alcohol, and I discovered that if I drank, that it could allow me to forget about some things, then after a while, I started to believe that I needed alcohol to get through painful stuff, which is crazy. Beginning of my life, and especially when you're a kid, you're developing and you're growing and you really don't know what's going on in the world, something painful happens, it just blows your mind. I got through all that sober. But as I got older and I was becoming an adult and I was actually learning how the world worked, suddenly I felt like I needed some type of substance to help me deal with my problems. And part of that is obviously, I feel like the effects that alcohol and other substances have on your brain. It dulls some of your emotions for a time period, and it makes you, it messes with your memory, so it makes you forget about things. But here's the thing, and I'm sure anyone watching this video, if you're being real with yourself, you will agree. While alcohol might seem to dull the pain and make you forget about it for a little while, a few hours, as soon as you get, sober and you're not drunk anymore, the pain comes right back. It doesn't go anywhere. So it really doesn't help. The secret to or what you want to happen when you're going through pain is you want it to go away. Alcohol doesn't help with the pain. It just kind of numbs it or makes you forget about it for a little bit. But then when it comes back, you've got the added, for those people who used to drink like me, I would drink to numb the pain. And typically when I was going through something painful, that's when I would get really drunk and I'd act really crazy. The next morning when I was sober and hungover, I had to lay in bed and deal with the pain of whatever I was going through. And then I also had to deal with like the pain of the crazy stuff I'd done that night. And this just kept happening. Something would happen and I was like, man, I gotta get super drunk tonight. Like I would tell my friends, yeah, man, so-and-so happened, man. I'm getting wasted tonight. Like I got, you know, knowing full well the last 7 times I tried that, it ended very badly. But for some reason, and I think it's like the addict in me, whatever it is inside of me that just like really likes alcohol, I think it played on that. But for some reason, every time something painful happened, I felt like I needed to get drunk. But the sad thing was, the more I did that, the more my life was spiraling out of control. And here's the thing too, if you're constantly just trying to numb the pain or forget about the pain, you can't work through it. So basically I was just suppressing pain. Alcohol was just helping me suppress pain. And when you have pain suppressed like that, it's like a spring. The more you hold a spring down, the more it wants to, you know, pop out. So every now and then that pain was popping out and rearing itself. And once again, that's when I would do the wildest, craziest stuff. Because I just had too much pain suppressed and some of it had to come out. You ever woke up from a drunk night and be like, what was I doing? You know, if you didn't black out and totally forget. And then your friends had to tell you and then you're like, what? But you ever woke up next morning, hungover, and be like, what was I doing? Like, what was I thinking? That's not even me. A lot of times that was the pain coming out and manifesting. You know, just you're already drunk, so you don't know what's going on, and so the pain just takes over. You know, craziness. Alcohol drinking does not help us with the pain. All it does is make us forget about it for a little bit, and then ultimately make it worse. The only way you can deal with pain in life is to deal with pain in life. Okay? The only way like you can work through pain is to work through pain. Sober, clear-headed, you got to sit with the pain. You got to go through the stages of grief. Like you like, there's a reason that we feel pain. It's doing something for us. It is a process. So much in life is a process. I know y'all get tired of me saying the P word. Here we go talking process again. It's a process. You're supposed to work through the pain. You're supposed to feel the pain. Figure out why you're feeling the pain, what's going on, work through it. Sometimes this can be done rather quickly. Some days, maybe some weeks. Sometimes it's like lifetime, lifelong work has to be done. But you can't do it drunk. You can't get any real movement on your pain process drunk. You can't. You can't. The only way to really work through pain is to do it clear-headed, sober, and understand what is going on. Understand what you're feeling. So I know it seems like it helps to get drunk when you go through something painful, but ultimately it doesn't. And I think we all know this. If we're being real, I think we all know this. We know that it really doesn't help. And here's the thing, as long as you keep using alcohol as a crutch, you're always going to need it. If every single time something pops up in your life you don't like, you have to run out and get drunk to deal with it, every single time something in your life pops up you don't like, you're going to have to run out and get drunk to deal with it. And so the circumstances in your life are running your life. The circumstances are in control, not you. If whenever A happens, you do B, A is in control. Or whoever causes A or whatever causes A is in control. You're not in control. If A always equals B, A is in control. And you have to stop that if you ever want to get your life back. And we have to stop that if we ever want to get to a place where we can work through the pain in our life, let go a lot of this pain, and move on from it. I know for me, I had so much stuff that happened in those years when I was drinking that when I finally got sober, I was able to like get rid of. And a lot of the stuff, like, you don't realize it at the time. It's not like you have like a pain indicator on your arm and it says you have 80,000 units of suppressed pain in your body. You don't realize at the time. You do realize that your life sucks and you're not happy and you're acting out and you're ruining relationships, you're doing all this crazy stuff. But it takes being sober to work through a lot of this stuff. And so the time has to come when something painful or bad happens in your life and you say, I'm not going to let it make me drink. Either that comes like after you've gotten sober and got some time in, and then that occurs, which will happen. Trust me, folks. One of the hurdles you're going to have to jump, on the way to ultimate sobriety is the universe is going to throw something very painful at you to see where you're at. The universe will always test you. No matter what it is in life you say you want to do, the universe will always test you to see if you're serious about it. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Don't be scared. Just get prepared. You were born with the tools to go through it. So it might come after you've got a month or two in of sobriety, the universe tests you, or maybe that'll be the beginning thing. Maybe you're still drinking, but you're like, hey, the next time something really painful comes up and I'm like, oh, I gotta drink to get through this, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. And I'm gonna sit with that pain and I'm gonna feel every single moment of that pain and I'm gonna work through that pain. Because once you do it once, then you got it. Because now you have something to draw on the next time it happens. Because it'll happen again. You're like, man, I want to get drunk right now. I don't feel like dealing with this. Like, nope. Last time this happened, I didn't have to drink. And we got through it. And as you build upon that foundation and you just keep having moments that you don't allow yourself to drink, not only are you like growing and healing at a faster rate, but also like you're proving to your mind, your subconscious, which plays a big part in your drinking and your sobriety. You're proving to yourself and your mind, your subconscious, that you don't have to drink. And you're debunking that myth to yourself that I'm not strong enough, I have to drink. Now you're like, oh, I am strong enough, I don't have to drink. You're getting self-esteem back. You know, you're getting self-esteem, you're getting self-confidence, you're feeling good. Something else that helps you deal with pain, that really helps you deal with the pain. If you have the self-esteem that says, oh, I can deal with this on my own, then you don't have to drink. That helps you stay sober. So please, you know, like I said, this is not just stuff I say, this stuff I've been through. Trust me, I was that guy who whenever something happened, you know, in my love life or at work or just, you know, something unexpected, I was getting wasted. It really took me breaking that cycle and starting to not want to numb the pain. Starting to want to like feel the pain and deal with the pain and work through the pain. To get to a place in life, to where like it doesn't even occur to me now to want to use alcohol. I know, and I knew before, but now I know on all levels that getting drunk when something bad happens or something painful happens will only make the situation worse. And it's honestly, I'd be more likely to take a drink in like a festive occasion or it was a party or something like that. I'd be more likely to be triggered in a situation like that than I would these days in a painful situation, because it is so deep rooted in me now that alcohol does not help with pain. It only makes it worse. It only makes it worse. I believe that with every fiber of my being, and I know it is possible for each and every one of us who for some reason struggle with this thing, with drinking and with alcohol. I know it's possible for each and every one of us to get there.